you are actually going to be consuming twice as many calories that you think you are. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people struggle with losing weight, is because they don't know how to track properly. If you are going to be tracking your calories, make sure that you end up weighing it raw and not... Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I've got a reaction video for you guys. And the video I'm going to be reacting to is from the YouTubers Fresh and Fit, and the name of the video is Track Your Calories to Achieve a Sexier Body. I'm going to include the video right up over here in the corner, and I'm just going to let it play in the background while I speak over it. But the reason I'm making this reaction video is because I happened to stumble across this video today, and there were a lot of mistakes in this video, and I want to try and help you guys avoid those mistakes if you do plan on losing weight and if you do plan on tracking your calories. Now, the video starts out pretty good. The gentleman who's teaching you how to track your calories, he ends up saying that if you want to get the most accurate results possible, you need to weigh your food, and that is absolutely terrific advice. If you do plan on tracking your calories, absolutely you want to weigh your food if you want to be as accurate as possible, because otherwise it's going to be a complete guessing game and you're not going to know how many calories you're actually consuming. So step number one, really good advice. But that is where the good advice ends, and here is where the bad advice starts, because the video quickly goes downhill and there are a lot of mistakes made in this video. He starts out by taking out a package of lean ground turkey and he's reading the nutrition label, and I noticed that right next to the actual package of turkey that he's holding, he has a skillet of already cooked turkey. And the first thing that I'm thinking of is he's not going to end up weighing the cooked turkey, is he? And yes, he ends up weighing the cooked turkey, and that is a big no-no if you plan on tracking your calories. You never want to weigh the cooked food and use the actual raw weight when you are measuring your calories, and there are several reasons for this. The cooked weight is not going to be reflective of what is actually on the label. Whenever you get a nutrition label, if you buy prepackaged and pre-cooked foods, then yes, the calories on the label are going to reflect that of the cooked weight. However, if you are consuming or purchasing raw food, the calories and the nutrition label is going to reflect that of the raw weight. It's not going to reflect that of the cooked weight. And the reason this is going to be very important is because when you end up cooking meat, the weight is going to be very different from the actual raw weight. You're going to lose roughly, you're going to get about 3/4 of the weight once you actually cook it. So let's use some hypothetical numbers and say that 100 grams of meat is equal to 100 calories, just to keep the math nice and simple. If you have 100 calories from 100 grams of raw meat, when you cook that 100 grams is going to shrink down to about 75 grams. So if you weigh the 75 grams, you're going to think you're consuming 75 calories when you're actually consuming 100 calories. So there's going to be a big difference. And this is just for 100 grams. 25 calories doesn't seem like much, but if you're cooking large meals, that's definitely going to add up. And the reason that there's going to be this huge difference in weight is because meat is roughly 70% water. So if you are cooking 100 grams of turkey, 70 grams of that is going to be water, and only 30 grams is going to be actual muscle tissue itself. And the more you cook it, the more water is going to evaporate from the meat. So again, let's use these hypothetical numbers. You have 100 grams of raw meat, you end up cooking it, and you're left with 75 grams. So now you think you're consuming 75 calories when really you're consuming 100 calories. And that's assuming that you don't like your meat really dry. My cousin, she absolutely loves her meats super dry. So when she cooks things like chicken or turkey, she dries the hell out of it until you basically need to pour water on it if you want to be able to chew it, because otherwise it's going to be really dry. So for my cousin, the more you cook something, the more dry it's going to be, because the more water is going to evaporate from the meat. So let's say you're cooking 100 grams of raw meat and you want it really dry. You're like my cousin. Well, that 100 grams of meat is now going to be 50 grams once you've cooked it. So you think you're consuming 50 calories worth of calories, but you're actually consuming 100. So you're actually going to be underestimating by twice the amount of calories that you're actually consuming. That's right. You are actually going to be consuming twice as many calories that you think you are. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people struggle with losing weight, is because they don't know how to track properly. If you are going to be tracking your calories, make sure that you end up weighing it raw and not when you end up cooking it, because otherwise you're going to grossly underestimate the amount of calories that you're consuming. And then what's going to happen is you're going to think that calorie counting is a myth and calorie counting doesn't work, but it's not that calorie counting doesn't work, it's that you were not counting it properly. You need to make sure that you track it as accurately as possible. And the way to track it accurately is you want to make sure that you weigh it first, then you can actually get an accurate representation of how many calories are in the actual food that you are consuming. You never want to weigh it cooked. And if you do happen to weigh it cooked, you want to make sure that you are going and finding the actual cooked weight or the cooked nutrition recommendations when you are using these different apps. But even then, it's not going to be the most accurate, because If you cook it more water is going to evaporate and it's going to weigh a little bit less. So you always want to weigh it when it is actually raw to get the most accurate results possible. But that's pretty much it for my little bit rant, and that's pretty much it for the actual reaction video for today. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything whatsoever, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.